Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chasing Rabbits. My name is Scott Brown, and you have found my nightly blog dedicated to helping you become the leader you always wished that you had worked for. So tonight I want to talk about one of the greatest dangers that leaders face in terms of stagnating the people that work for them, stagnating their followers, stagnating their teams. It's said oftentimes in everywhere that's written, we hear so often about having to become comfortable with failure, that it's important for leaders to set up processes and systems to help individuals that work for them to become comfortable with failure, to help them risk failing in the pursuit of success, to risk growing, to step out of the status quo and know that they're not going to get in trouble if something goes wrong. And for many of us, we've spent our entire lives trying to avoid failure because whenever we fail, there has been a personal consequence to us for failing. We've been expected to be perfect, whether it's in the corporate world or in school or with our friends or family, with parents, whomever it is. Many of us have spent our entire lives fearing failure because of the personal consequences that come from it. And even though we don't say it out loud, many of us conflate failing with being a failure, and they're very different things. Leaders who are successful are able to break through that through building reciprocal relationships and meaningful relationships with individuals to help them get comfortable with failing. Well, there's a second side to that coin, something else that we often don't talk about, but is just as damaging. And it's probably something that happens even more often because we don't deal with it. And that is ensuring that those that work for you also don't fear success. When we set up systems within our organizations to reward people for succeeding, oftentimes that reward is rewarding the organization for the employee's success. And we do so by giving them another job, by giving them another promotion, sending them to another location. Or maybe even, we know that they can pick up the slack, so we don't backfill that job opening quite as quickly, or we give them another job of being a trainer to help teach somebody else how to do the things that they do so well. We punish someone for their success by giving them something that they may have never wanted, but we as an organization see it in the best interest for us. So individuals that do tend to succeed, they've realized over time, well, wait a minute, if I keep stepping out and succeeding, all that's happening is I'm getting more work. I'm getting moved around. I'm getting punished for my growth, for my success. So why am I going to try to succeed? That doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to stay under the radar. What happens when you have some individuals on your team and a significant portion that are afraid of failure, they become stagnant and they become stuck where they are because they don't want to push forward risking failure. And then you have this other group that is afraid to succeed because they don't want to get punished for their success, so they stop pushing forward trying to succeed. And you end up with this log jam in the middle of mediocrity. You end up with this status quo of individuals not willing to step out for two completely separate reasons, but being unwilling to step out and try something new. Completely different reasons for it, but just as damaging to an organization, to a team, to your followers. And as a leader, it's your job to figure out what you can do to help them get over a failure of success, and also the others get over the fear of failure. That's something that I have dealt with for years, practically my entire life. When I was growing up, I knew that perfection was expected, and I also knew that I wasn't expected to succeed by many members of my family. So I developed this self-talk of, I'm not going to succeed, so I'm not going to strive for success, and I'm not going to try to do something that I don't know how to do because I'm going to be afraid of failure. So I didn't push either way. Then when I got into the corporate world, all of a sudden I found some early success in my career and got moved a lot and realized, why am I going to push myself to do something great when there's a negative ramification for my succeeding at something? So I backed off. And it's definitely had career implications over the course of my lifetime. I am not alone. There are thousands of individuals that I know of in organizations out there that I have worked in those organizations and suffer the same sort of roadblock, mental block within their psyche. They don't want to succeed, they don't want to fail, so they stay stagnant. Our job as leaders is to help create the environments and to build the relationships with individuals to help get them out of their own way. Potential, when it is not realized, is wasted. And we have too many individuals out there working right now that have wasted potential, that are wasting their time not becoming the person that they were meant to be because some of them are afraid to fail and others are afraid to succeed. So as a leader, focus on what you can do to help both ends of the spectrum, and it's going to be very different for every individual. You're not going to be able to do the same things for everybody. Relationships matter. How you build those relationships determines how well you help your team succeed and what benefits they get from that success. So until tomorrow, have a wonderful night. I wish you well. And as always, toast on, my friends. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Chasing Rabbits. Be well, my friends.